Hi, welcome back to the channel. Let me first start off by just apologizing to those who are looking for this update sooner. I'm only able to record videos on Fridays, and I try to upload them either on the same day, Friday, or max like within the next 2 to 3 days. And that's why there was such a delay. I've been going over Seritage's earnings release and also the financial supplement, the 10Q, the investor presentation, and we'll be briefly going over what Seritage's earnings are like and also discuss why the stock has been so irrationally volatile throughout the last few days. It went down 18% and back up 25% in just a few days. Also, by the way, I did add to my position a little bit when the stock dropped 18%. I'll tell you all about it once we're done going through the earnings. Also, if you're interested in Seritage's Q3 earnings, there's Frank from the Investing with Frank YouTube channel and Tom from the Investing with Tom YouTube channel that have put up videos regarding Seritage's Q3 earnings. Do check those out if you haven't already, of course, after this video. Links are included in the description below. Quickly going over the business model, Seritage Growth Properties redevelops existing Sears stores into mixed-use commercial and residential space in order to maximize the return on investment on the real estate portfolio. They fund this redevelopment investment with a combination of debt and by the sale of certain assets where the return on investment is lower than the required threshold, or by entering into joint ventures to redevelop projects. In the earnings, the NOI, which is the net operating income, and the company FFO, funds from operations, are roughly as expected. However, there are two main things that stood out to me from this particular earnings report. The first was the impairment of their Mark 302 project. The second was the sale of their Chicago project. The Mark 302 project was a joint venture with Invesco announced back in 2018. Invesco paid $50 million for half of the project. Seritage announced that they had to write down their gain on that sale from $38.8 million to $8.8 million. This may have been due to the value of the real estate itself falling since the project was subject to variable consideration. Variable consideration is an IFRS, which is an international financial reporting standard, where there is a range of expected most likely values that are assigned to a contract, like final project. As per the 10Q, the contribution value cannot be more than 90 million or less than 60 million. The resulting gain or loss will not be more than 38.8 million or less than 8.8 million. And the company, which is Seritage, will continue to reevaluate the expected amount on a periodic basis to the final determination date. VCC is the company that's executing the redevelopment construction of the Mark 302 project, and they expect it to be completed soon, perhaps around September Q3, Q4 of 2021. We will see this project be partially leased out by then and generating cash flows, hopefully. These sort of impairments are not really surprising with the current state of the economy, and that's why having a margin of safety is crucial when investing in a business like Seritage. The next thing I wanted to highlight was the sale of the Chicago project. The Six Corners Sears was sold to Novak Construction. I really wish that we had more clarification regarding this, since it puts the entire redevelopment plan in limbo. I mean, Seritage has stated that they're out of it, but more details regarding this would be good to know. If you've got more details, if you know anything else, please do share it in the comments below. Now we know that Seritage has sold off 5 properties and 8 outparcels for an aggregate consideration of 62.8 million, and there was a gain of 15.3 million. This is included in the 113.6 million that the company generated from monetizing 6 properties and 9 outparcels, including 1 joint venture and 1 sale leaseback transaction. The sales have given Seritage a stronger cash position. Currently, on the balance sheet, they have 118 million in cash. There is also one line item representing restricted cash. Restricted cash here represents cash received as proceeds from a sale which did not meet the criteria for sale accounting at September 30th, 2020. There's no further clarification regarding this, and it's relatively a small amount, which is around $2.7 million. But the company does have enough cash on hand to continue its redevelopment as expected. However, they definitely do need to have more cash in order to make up for the permanent loss of rental income that they've experienced over the last few months. The company's obligations, which refer to its property operating, its general and administrative expenses, and its debt service, continue to be higher than what the property rental income that's generated from their properties. But despite this, we could see the annual base rent generated from tenants, apart from Sears and Kmart, be at least 200 million by next year, which would give Seritage access to 400 million more in incremental funding from Berkshire Hathaway as per the existing term loan agreement. This 400 million would boost the redevelopment strategy that had been hindered due to the quarantine measures in place. Seritage was not in compliance with all the financial metric requirements in the term loan agreement. However, Berkshire Hathaway has been relatively supportive and permitted Seritage the deferral of interest payments in the event that their cash reserve is highly depleted. Of course, there is a higher interest rate that's charged on the deferred payments. There's no free lunch here. Seritage continues to pay the interest on the debt owed to Berkshire Hathaway. So Seritage was spun off with the objective of redeveloping the Sears outlets to optimize the value of the assets. The company is executing as expected, but the problem with the numbers is that when Seritage does what it's supposed to, which is redevelop its properties and grow long-term future cash flows, the numbers in the short term do get hit. 1 year from now, the fundamentals of Seritage are hopefully going to be much better than what they are due to the higher rental income and also the higher rate that they will receive per square foot. As of September 2020, only 36% of their 195 properties has been leased. In 1 year, this number is expected to be much higher. So based on that information alone, where would you expect the stock price to be in the next 3 to 5 years? In the short term, the stock is very volatile since it's not been a stock that's covered by a lot of analysts, so a lot of market participants aren't even aware about it. It's also one of the most shorted stocks in the market. The short interest is just around 43%. The higher short interest affects the stock price more due to the relatively small market cap of Seritage. In my opinion, the stock had completely just overreacted, falling 18% on news that the CFO was resigning. When I saw it at $11 again, I decided to buy some more shares because when I see rationality, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm less doubtful about the integrity of the management for a reason that may seem a bit strange, but it kind of makes sense to me. The great investors that we see invested in Seritage all place a lot of value on the integrity of the management. They wouldn't be invested in Seritage if they did doubt the trustworthiness of any of the parties who could adversely impact the company in a significant way. I made another video titled The Problem with Valuing Seritage Growth Properties, where I cover this topic in a lot more detail. Do check that video out if you are interested. This investment is not for someone who's looking for a stable REIT paying dividends right now. The common shareholders shouldn't even expect a dividend for the next, say, 2 or 3 years. But when there are dividends paid, they are most likely going to be a double-digit yield on cost. There is still a lot of uncertainty in the stock, and that's why we see so much volatility. But if you look beyond the numbers and try to imagine where the cash flows of Seritage will be in the next, say, 2 to 3 years, Seritage is an investment that makes sense. Now, it completely depends on one person's investment horizon, their expected rate of return, to judge if it makes sense to buy into, sell out of, or even hold their Seritage position. The valuation still offers a margin of safety. The future cash flows are most likely going to be extremely high if they can execute as planned. It seems like a good risk-reward asymmetric return to me. I hope that you found this very brief recap of the Q3 earnings informative. Let me know what you thought about the performance of the company in the comments below. If you find any information about Seritage through any sort of website, please do share them in the comments below. Send links, that'll really help. And hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.